everyone, my name is BioBun and welcome to Freedom Through a Lens. I found this game on itch.io. I will put the link down in the description below. I'm really excited to try this. It looked really beautiful. I love the art style of it. So you should either watch me play it and then go do it, or you should just go right ahead and go support the developers because it looks beautiful. So we'll see if it is good. So just gonna start. Hey, you're pressing, right? Yeah, you're press, right? I can tell by your attitude. Just a few things that I have to make it explicitly clear before you go out into the crowd and start using the camera attached to your waist. I urge that you respect the people of this protest and think about the impact that your photography will have on them. I must also ask that you respect their privacy, and if you take any direct photographs where they're clearly identifiable, please ensure that you blur out their face completely before publishing them. I'll also suggest that you ask them for their consent before taking any photographs of them. It's important that you consider the outcomes of your work here today on the lives of every individual you talk to through the crowd. And take appropriate precautions. I'm sure you've documented similar events like this one before, so none of this should sound especially new to you. Am I correct in assuming you're an experienced journalist? No? Yes, of course. I understand that what you're saying. I have had a lot of field experience as a journalist, especially at events similar to today's protests. Okay then, I'm glad we have a mutual understanding. Now go and talk with the crowd, and do what it is you do best. I have a lot of you to get through. Next in line. Oh yeah, actually. Okay. That's some protesters. Wait, no? I'm not sure how to do this though. Oh. Can I? Hello, ma'am. I can see that you have your hands full, so I won't hold you up for long, but I was wondering if I could ask you for a few of your thoughts on today's events. Does that sound reasonable to you? Oh, hey, yeah, sure. She wasn't falling asleep at home, so I thought that a walk in some fresh air would calm her down and help her sleep. Then I stumbled upon all of this commotion. Sure, so what do you make of the protest here today? There sure are a lot of groups and demographics from our community that have attended here today, up in arms about the new anti-freedom law. I've clearly seen things through the television. I don't get much of a chance to get out of the house on account of the little one and all, but from what I've heard through the news, it sounds awful. I'm sorry, I can't be much of more help to you, but I'm afraid that I just don't know that much of the issue to comment further on that. The woman's baby starts to become restless and begins to cry out. Not to worry, ma'am, all of our voices are important when it comes to this issue. It's the only way any change will happen. I'll let you get back to your baby. Thank you for your time. Listen, do you mind if I take a photograph of you from my story? You will not be identifiable, but the choice is yours. Sorry, but I don't feel comfortable with the idea of that. Please don't take a photograph of me or my baby for your story. Thank you. Then I won't do that. Oh, these are the ones I have to find? That's kind of strange, but sure. I really like the thing about the consent part. It's nice. What the hell you're looking at? You got a problem with me being here today? Like I'm not equal or something crazy like that? Everyone has an issue with me, don't they? Ma'am, I'm sorry for startling you. I just wanted to ask you for some of your thoughts on today's protest against the new anti-freedom law coming into discussion. If that's alright with you. Oh, okay then. Sure, that seems reasonable. I'd be more than willing to give you my opinion on today's events. Sorry about before. People have not been very open to my voice being heard here today. I figured you were just another one of those close-minded white supremacist assholes. I'm glad to see that somebody is willing to hear my voice for what it is. an equal one, without being presumptuous towards me because of my color, race, and gender. I'm not here to attack you or being self-beliefs. I'm just here to collect some of the voices from this crowd here today, and then write a story that will prompt some real change to take place. What is it about this new law that disgusts you? How is it in your view? We're talking about removing certain cultures and demographics in the society the right to their freedom. How the hell is that okay? We claim to be this diverse and open culture that accepts one another, yet some of us can't even look at one another without commenting on one's gender identity or cultural background, let alone race and skin color. Diversity is not a part of our society social blueprint, and at least in my eyes it never has been. It's always been a forgotten footnote in our evolution as a species. Racism, sexism, genderism, and just about every other type of ism is in our blood. Is in our blood. Society loves to discriminate, and I don't believe that it is going to change anytime soon. Patrice starts to tear up as she talks. Ma'am, are you okay? We can stop now if you like. It's clear that you are here for a very particular important reason today, and I believe that I have heard all that I need to hear. Thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing with you what you did. Are you willing to let me photograph you for my story? You will not be directly identifiable in the photograph, but the choice is yours. Sure, that's no problem. Thank you for taking your time to talk with me out of everyone in this large crowd. Is this good? Alright, so there's 4 more. Looks like a little kid is among them. So, I'm not like the something of freedom. I can't go back there. So it's a process about not being able to be free. Like, that makes sense, but why are there even a law against it? Hear the voices of the people. Hear the voices of the people. Hear the voices of the people. Okay. Excuse me, may I interrupt and talk with you for a moment? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, of course. What is it you want to know? That's a pretty impressive lens you have on that camera there. Thanks. I believe what is your position on the event taking place here today? I think it's pretty clear by the signpost you're flailing about. But I'd like to hear it in your own words. Equality and diversity these days are the keys to a collective community and society. We need to gather input from everyone and be open to the criticism and thoughts of others, and importantly those around us, each and every day. These are the steps we need to take towards a better future for everyone. Okay, so much more than just hear the voices of the people. That's good to know, and it's a great insight into your motive here today. Is there anything else you would like to add before I leave? No, not in particular. Not now. Enough of this chit chat. Why don't you actually use that camera of yours and take a photo of me? The more people this message reaches, the better. Thank you for your time. I hope your message gets through to the rest of the crowd. Good day. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture of the whole of him. Yeah. Woo. Okay. I agree though. You should listen to the people. Like, really. They are the one living there. Okay, so we have a kid. We must band together to rise up as one to stop this cockamamie procedure of theirs. We select this swine to represent us, electing them into a position of unruly power over our beliefs and civil liberties. And on our side, our rights to freedom have become suppressed. Hey there, I'm a freelance that's me. Hey there, I'm a freelance photojournalist. I'm writing a piece on today's protest. If you don't mind, could you describe to me who you are in a little detail? Oh hey, I didn't see you there. I'd be glad to. It's refreshing to see someone is taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Most people just walk by, throwing a glance that suggests that I have no valid contribution to the event and topics because of my age. Our voices are so rarely heard. If some people would just take the time to converse with the younger demographics in our community, then maybe we could bring about some real change. I guess with the fragility of the situation we inadvertently put ourselves into, people are more scared than they're willing to admit. You got quite a profound voice in this event for someone of your age, don't you? It's inspiring to see someone like yourself going out there and ensuring that your voice is heard. The youth of today having the backbone to say that they're thinking and sharing their opinion in the matters at hand, well, it just wasn't the way back when I was a kid. I totally agree that everyone has an equal voice and they shouldn't be afraid to let it be heard. It's the only way that will change anything, that's right. Oh well, it's been really nice talking with you and hearing what you have to say and seeing your position. Do you mind if I take a photo of you to include in the piece I'm writing on today's event? Your face will be blurred out so that you're not identifiable in the photograph. Thanks for hearing me out, and sure, why would you blur my face out? Why does it matter if I'm identified? It's a privacy consideration that photojournalists have to take in every photograph they take. That capture things like faces and identifiable fine features. We don't want anything to happen to those we take photos of, so we make it that you cannot be identified. Oh, okay, that's really interesting. I'd never stopped to think of those considerations that photojournalists need to take to protect people's privacy. Thanks for explaining that to me. You may capture away. Huh. I think it's really great, like, to hear the voices of the little ones, like the younger people that are considered like, they don't know anything about this, they don't have the age for it. But you never know, because we don't know this girl, you never know if she's like been using all her study time or bedtime stories to read upon the situation of today. So she could be like way more educated on this than you could be, even though the majority isn't. Like, if I went back to upper secondary school, there are people that I talk to there that would still be way more educated on political things than I am today. And that's, even though that's a pretty high age, but I don't know how old she is. I'm guessing like 10, but I could be wrong. So, like, it's a judgmental thing, like, to think that she doesn't really know too much. Oh, that's the girl. So I think it's important to listen to all of the voices, even the small ones. And like, they kind of put an element of her not exactly knowing everything that she maybe should know in a process like this, because she didn't know about censorship, like not identifying her. So they're putting in like two different stands, like both understanding and not knowing everything yet. Like, nobody does, but you get what I mean. Hello, sir. I'm a freelance photojournalist writing a story on today's protest. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about your thoughts on the issue under protest? Yeah, sure. But keep it short and sweet. Thanks. Sure, sir. I won't take up too much of your time. So what is it that brings you out into this crowd today? Are you in protest of the anti-freedom laws? I don't want to talk about why I'm here. I feel uncomfortable discussing it with a complete stranger. Sorry. Okay, sure, if you don't mind me asking, what are your thoughts on the turnout of today's protest? There sure are a lot of people here today. A lot of people must care about the issue. Don't you think? Sure, it's a great turnout. There are lots of people from all the demographics in our society, but I bet you that half of them were pulled along by a friend or family member, and that they have no real idea what this protest is about, or what they're doing here. But perhaps I'm just a senile old man who really knows. I think I'm done talking to you. I'd like to get back to my own business if that's alright with you. Thanks. Thank you for a valuable time, sir. Your voice definitely matters in telling the story on today's events. Just quickly, if I may, do you mind if I take a photograph of you for my story? Remember, you will not be directly identifiable in the photograph, and the photograph may not even run in the final story. Sorry, but no. I'm sure anyone else will be open to that, but not me. I'm very particular with those sorts of things. Now please, go. Alright. You don't really seem too much interested in this either, but okay, I'm sure that's fine. I guess. Okay, skater dude. Hey, so what brings you to this event today? What are you protesting for? What do you want to see change in particular? Oh, hey dude, I just saw the event from the sidewalk as I was skating past. It looked interesting, so I decided to play a part in it. Sure, it's interesting that you decided to be part of a large-scale collective of people whom are all resisting the new anti-freedom law that is being proposed. They all seem to have an agenda, while you, well, not so much? Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm not sure how I feel on the new law being proposed. Sure, it's not good, but I don't fully understand the effect that it will have on our society as a whole. I guess you could say that's why I'm here, to learn more about this issue. Oh, okay. It's great to see that point of view from someone in this crowd, as I'm sure not many other would have that frame of mind coming here today. Well, it's been great talking with you, but I should really be working my way through this crowd and gathering all of the information that I can before the protest is disbanded. On a final note, do you object to me taking a photo of you to use in the story I'm writing on today's event? Remember, you will not be directly identifiable in the photograph, and you're at liberty to say no. Yeah, no, that seems fine, as long as no one can recognize me. Okay. So, I think I've been to everyone. Shit! Well, I guess my work is done. Hopefully the SD card is still intact, so I have some photos to run in my... Can you... Oh. Oh, okay. Reselect. I don't want him. That's one. And this one, and this one. Yes. Okay. No voices, no rights. Hundreds attend freedom protest at Central Plaza. Hundreds of citizens protest throughout Central Plaza on Sunday afternoon to call for an end to the liberation of the anti-freedom laws moving through government officiaries. Gathering together, protesters ranging from all demographics across the city joined together, enchanted as one. Hear the voices of the people. You can't revoke our human rights. Throughout Central Plaza, those taking part included campaigners against racism, sexism, and genderism, all calling for equal rights and the acknowledgement of their civil liberties. Organizers and protesters alike praised the event for its positive fueling and its motivating effect on this social movement. Organizers stated that the march was necessary to change society and empower people to rise up and share their voices. A 35-year-old social worker said, "A lot of us work in these fields where we are always helping others and listening to their problems, and we always endeavor to help as best we can. All we ask is that our government returns us the favor and treats us equally. Sometimes we need the help. It got to an exhaustive point where we had to make a move. We had to change society, hearts and minds. That's why we're rallied here today, protesters for the return of our human rights and freedom." The social protest follows the newly elected and appointed head of office and comes weeks after the Liberation March through the heart of the city, which drew thousands onto the streets and had a widespread impact on social change. So, that was the game. It was short, it was sweet, the animations was a little strange, but I kind of still liked it. And, you know, they kind of went into there, how is it to talk to the people in a crowd on something that has to do with their basic human rights. And also, like, how they went through the necessity of censorship like blurring their faces out. And as I said about little girl, you meet all kinds of people, and like the skater dude, how he was there because he heard the crowd and he wanted to find out more. Like it made sense, you know, all of it. So I really liked it. It was interesting, and I think it was just enough. So yeah, if you want to support the developers, go ahead. I'll put the links in the description down below. It's on itch.io for free, so you can go play it yourself. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again in another video. And with that said, have a nice day. Bye.